Okay, guys, I'm going to go on, like I said, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here because there are just some things I want to question. And I've already questioned a lot of things, so sorry. This won't be very long. Is it just me, or is the S.T.A.R.S team full of idiots? They're fucking zombies. They shouldn't be and it's always like one-on-one. Okay, with Kenneth, what gun was he using? Because in the remake of the first Resident Evil game, instead of handgun ammunition, you find a tape. And this is at the very beginning of the game, and you can only watch this tape near the end. I mean, like, right at the fucking end. Like, there's only maybe, like, 30 minutes left of this game. Maybe an hour at most. And that's the only time you're able to watch it. So you're thinking it's going to be something real good. But no, it's just him getting killed by the zombie. But what gun was he using? I'm not like a gun expert. I can't tell anything. You don't even see much of it. If I had to guess, it was probably like a machine gun or a shotgun. How's that zombie able to touch him? It is a zombie. It'd be one thing if you were surrounded by a horde like that guy, like the UBCS member in Resident Evil 3, you know, the one with the machine gun saying, "Come and get it, you freaks." And, you know, right before he's about to get eaten, it just cuts away and shows the decimated police force. Yeah, what was your problem? How could you not take it? And then there's Forrest, who apparently came into the situation armed with nothing but a fucking grenade launcher. That's a bit overkill. I mean, I'm going to be bitching about this later, but that's going a little bit too far. Like, if you were to go into a situation that you really weren't sure what was going on, like, yeah, you knew that there were killers, would you really bring a fucking grenade launcher? I'd really bring, like, a shotgun or a machine gun, instead of machine gun, you know, something like that. I wouldn't bring a grenade launcher. Sorry, I spit a little again. It's like if you just brought a fucking rocket launcher to a bank robbery. It's overkill. And yet the guy gets killed by fucking crows. How the fuck do you suck so bad that crows can kick your ass? I think crows are like the one enemy that cannot kill you instantly if you're on danger mode. I haven't tested this. Excuse me. But I'm willing to bet. And like I said, I'm going to bitch about this now. Why is every S.T.A.R.S member, like, poorly equipped? This is supposed... From what I can gather, S.T.A.R.S is supposed to be a SWAT team. It's supposed to deal, like, with terrorist situations and such. And yet... Okay. I haven't played Zero, so I don't know what these guys bring. But the main characters, Chris, Jill, Wesker, Barry, and Rebecca, like all those main ones, and I guess Enrico, I might as well just count him for the hell of it. They bring nothing but handguns. Okay, granted, Barry's is a Magnum, but since Magnum ammo is hard as hell to find, it might as... I'm just going to count it anyways. Like I said, if I was going into this kind of situation that there are grisly murders taking place. We don't know how the murders are taking place, like if they kill them first and then eat them, or eat them alive. I would go in with a machine gun or shotgun and pick a bunch of extra ammunition with me, because I don't know the enemy numbers. And yet these people think they could just cowboy up with their little handgun, and that's supposed to help. Yes, the handgun. A gun that takes about 5 to 10 shots to down a zombie. These people are idiots. How do you go into a situation... The people in Silent Hill games, they have a fucking excuse. They are ordinary, everyday people. They would not have a gun, except for, like, the guy in Homecoming. He was in the army. I didn't finish the game. I returned because I got really bored. I'll go into this in an actual review. Okay. And also and this is the nail in the coffin of how retarded they are. None of them, other than one fucking guy, out of 2 teams, has a radio. Okay, well, Brad has a radio too, so... I guess 2 guys out of 2 teams have a radio. Why? This isn't the 40s when a radio was like 40 fucking pounds. This is 98. Because for some reason Capcom decided to make Resident Evil take place in 1998. I don't know why. It's not like they have any more like futuristic technology or anything. Even slightly, like, I don't know, laser guns or some shit. Oh man, could you imagine if Resident Evil had laser guns? But yeah, like I said, only two guys have a radio, and one of them somehow breaks it. I don't know how, but it's broken enough to you can receive transmissions, you just can't give any. I don't know how radios work, but I don't know how easily that could be done. And once again, every member on the team must be a fucking idiot because none of them have any radios. Like I said, I would go in very prepared, you know, machine gun and a shotgun, plenty of extra ammunition, and a radio. The S.T.A.R.S team sucks. It doesn't. I can see why no one believed them about the whole zombie thing. Would you? No. You'd call bullshit. You'd think they were all just in the forest huffing paint. Okay, that's my little rant on the S.T.A.R.S members. Let's get on to Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2, I don't know when it came. Like, okay, other than 1, I don't really know when all these games came out. So, yeah, I'm not going to be giving dates. But it couldn't have been too long since it was still on the PlayStation 1s, and graphics, for the most part, really weren't improved. Like, okay, they're better, but not by a lot. Once again, you take control of one character out of 2. Claire and Chris. Damn it. Claire and Leon. I'm thinking of Code Veronica right now. Anyways, you take control... Son of a bitch, I cannot talk today. Control of Leon or Claire. Leon is an RPD officer who came late to the job, which I don't think is ever explained outside of one of the novels in which it said that he was like partying and he like just didn't wake up in time. Although I don't think we can really say the novels count as canon because according to the novel, I think it said the outbreak in Raccoon City started because a vial of the T virus, like when the mansion exploded, flew off and like land and just broke inside like a water supply, which I guess is sort of similar to how it really happens, but it's not what happens. So I'd say you can't count the book. Unless something else said it, I don't know anymore. Anyways, by the time Leon and Claire get there, Raccoon City is already a zombie-infested hellhole. Which brings up a question no one has answered. How the fuck did they get in? How did they not encounter a military force or hell even when they first entered the city zombies? Did the military blockade just kind of see them, just wave them through because they just didn't care by then? Huh. Actually, how did Leon and Claire not meet up like on the drive to Raccoon City? Because they are very close to each other. Like, I guess Leon was there like maybe a couple minutes before Claire. That's all I can think of. Claire is, I think, a university student who is looking for Chris, and I don't know why. She says that he's been missing for like 3 months, but from what I can gather, you don't live in Raccoon City, but Chris does. At least I think he does. I'm not entirely sure on this. And yet, so, does he regularly keep contact with you? I know in the novel, which isn't canon, like their parents are dead or something like that, so I guess it'd make sense in that regard that she's really concerned for her brother, she would leave to try to find him. Actually, before I get too much deeper into Resident Evil 2, I'd like to talk about Resident Evil 1.5, which was going to be Resident Evil 2. Now, this game was actually quite different from what the final product was. For instance, Claire wasn't Claire. She was called Eliza Walker. I can't remember what her reason for being in Raccoon City was, but she was a university student. And Marvin, the police officer you meet at the beginning of the game, was supposed to be a major character, not the minor guy who just tosses you a key card and says piss off. I think Ada might have been a little different. I don't remember too many details, but there were like areas also that were not shown in Resident Evil 2 that were in 1.5. That's really all I've got on it. I just thought it'd be interesting if I brought it up. Hold on, I'm gonna quickly check the time again. I've not been like keeping track with my watch. Okay, got 5 minutes. Alright, now back to Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 actually did improve on more than just the graphics. The voice acting is much better. Like, if you compare the original Resident Evil's voice acting with Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 2 deserves a fucking Oscar. Because it is just golden compared to 1. I mean, it's not perfect. Like, there are bad voice actors, but like for the main characters at least, they do a pretty good job. In fact, little fun fact, the woman who voices Claire, I'm sorry, I don't know her name. She is the only character to still be playing that role. Every other character has had different voice actors, as we all know. Like Wesker's voice changed like 3 times, and even Leon's voice changed recently with Resident Evil 6, which is kind of actually hard to notice. The guy does a really good impression. Like, I think the first guy, the guy who did it, like, for 4, his name was, like, Paul Mercer, I think. I don't know what the new guy's name is, though. But like I said, he does a good job. Anyways, that's not for this, that is not Resident Evil 2, that's 6. Anyways, like I was saying, they meet up by pretty much pure luck and steal a police car, which just happened to have the keys in the ignition and worked. And so they just drive along, they introduce themselves, and then out of nowhere, from the back seat, a zombie attacks them like he was there the whole time. Here's my question. That must be like a really polite zombie, because he just waited for them to give their introduction to each other. I don't know what took him so long. Like, was he just, like, about to jump at them? But when they just said, "My name's Leon Kennedy. Nice to meet you," and then Claire introduces herself, he's like, "Oh, I better not interrupt." That's the only excuse I can think of. As the zombie attacks them, Leon loses control of the car and accidentally crashes it, which causes the zombie to fly out the window and get killed. But then they're attacked by a trucker who you see early in the game, who gets bit by a zombie and gets in his truck and just drives away, who turned into a zombie while driving. Would a zombie know to keep its foot down on the pedal? Anyways, the truck crashes into the cop car that they're in. They get out in time, but they're separated. Now, there are technically 4 scenarios for this game. Claire A, Claire B, Leon A, and Leon B. For the most part, these scenarios are exactly the same. There isn't much difference. There are, I mean, like if you compare them, Claire A is very similar to Leon A. There are differences, yeah, but not much. And this is how the canon scenarios go. It's Claire A and Leon B. That's how it's accepted, and that's the only one that makes any fucking sense. And it's the one that they use now for like all the game, like all the like retellings, like Darkside Chronicles uses it, Operation Raccoon City used it, all that. So that's how I'm going to be talking about it. There isn't much to say until they get to the police station. When you get to the police station as Leon, you go in, I suppose, the back entrance, and witness. Okay, I got like a minute. You witness a helicopter that comes by, which makes you wonder how Claire does not... Okay, well, actually, Claire is actually quite a long distance away from that, so I guess that does make sense. Never mind. A helicopter that's trying to, evacuate people from the RPD. However, a cop that's there with a submachine gun gets attacked by zombies, and when he gets downed by the zombies, he's still firing a submachine gun, which happens to actually hit the helicopter pilot, killing him, crashing the plane into the police station. Nice going there, asshole. And when you're Claire, actually, I can't go into much detail because I'm about to run out of time. So I'll continue with Resident Evil 2 in the next part. Later.